Blessed greetings. How are you, my dear? Myself, I'm good. I'm drinking umsuzwana and dacha tea combined to alleviate the condition. I do have a condition. Yeah, now at this moment, I have fever-like symptoms. Yes, I have fever-like symptoms, and I cannot take Panado or paracetamol because it blocks. You see, so now when it blocks, it won't be easy for me to read the energies, because in shamanism, we believe that fever-like or flu-like symptoms are a sign of release or upgrades, you see, because in order to go through some upgrades, you need your vibration to be high. So now, this fever-like symptoms make your vibration to be high. So in most cases, when you go to the doctor, they say you don't have a temperature. At that moment, you feel like your head is going to explode. But they say, no, your temperature is normal. Your blood pressure is normal. One day I cried. I cried like this. Inside the surgery, I cried because the doctor said I was not sick. And now I know that, oh, okay. So when it's time for upgrades, umsuzana wam and dacha tea, sometimes with chilies, Yeah. So today the lesson is not about the remedies of flu-like symptoms. The lessons today is about ancestral healing versus initiation. So now, before we can heal our ancestors, we go through initiation. So this initiation teaches us how to administer healing, both remotely, spiritually, and physically. You see, so now when we master all those things, we come back, then we see our ancestors, the ones we know, because in most cases to heal ancestors, we're not healing the old ancient one. We're healing those who just passed on, those who just passed on and they're still struggling to move. They are trapped between worlds because they are struggling to move, So when they struggle to move, some of them, they suffer illusions. They believe that they still have they need to have a body. So when they believe that they need to have a body, they start attaching themselves to other people who are alive. So then in order to avoid unnecessary initiations, that's when now we have to come out and speak about ancestral healing. Ancestral healing has always been there. It has always been there to heal the young ones who just pass on. I say the young ones because they are not yet the full ancestor, you see. Even if they passed on when they were 100 years old, but in the spirit world, they are the young ones. You see, so they're just learning to, they're just learning and getting used to this life of spirit without flesh, you see. So it's difficult because they're still using their mental plane. They still rely on their mind, and they still associate themselves with their mind. That's where now the problem is. So now they are living this life over, repeating this movie of their past life when they were humans over and over and over again, stuck in their minds. You see, when we see them, when we recognize them, we see them in the waters. We dream about water, actually, because they are stuck in their unconsciousness. You see, so we see this vast field of water. That's how we recognize them. And again, we recognize them by movements. at home, you feel there's movement, spiritual movements, then that's when now you stand up and say, yo, the bayang chakata, they are bewitching me. Hey, there are things which are moving around, and oh no. Sometimes if you can find the best healer who already went through initiations and came and back and initiated the young ones and helped them to transition in order to go and rest and come and start healing others, then that's when you will be able to get clarity. That's when you will be able to get help. That's when you will be able to know that you are not being bewitched. No one is bewitching you. All these movements are the connection of the ancestors who just passed on, less than 10 or 20 years ago. It depends on when did you start doing the ancestral work, So going forward, there won't be any need for all people to go through initiation. Some people will only need ancestral healing, or lineage healing, because some bloodlines are not gifted healers, or some not bloodlines. Let me not say bloodlines. Let me say, see this English. Let me say some households, not bloodlines. In every bloodline there is a healer. Some households are not gifted healers. There's no gifted healer in a household. You see, but they are suffering these signs of ancestral discomfort. Must they go and initiate? No. They are not supposed to go and initiate. If already we do have healers who know how to heal the ancestors, to move them from one space to another, to untangle them, to release them from the spaces where they are trapped. When we go through initiations, we have to arrive to a space where we move ancestors from one space to another. It is not the same, that is not done in the same manner for everybody. Each and every individual will have a different story, but that story will mean that they moved their ancestors from one consciousness to another. You see? Yeah. So that is the function of initiation. As a living person, being able to move ancestors from one consciousness to another. So when you know how to move your ancestors from one consciousness to another, you can be the ancestral lineage healer. That's where the ancestral lineage healer come from. Then you are able to heal those who are not supposed to go through initiations. They can just go and visit you, and you administer the healing, the processes. It is a mixture of different types of rituals and practices, and as the client, you also have things you are allocated assignments to do, you see, by the healer. So if you think you are experiencing signs which are related to ancestral work, however, you strongly believe that you are not supposed to go through initiation, then you can contact me on WhatsApp number 072 088 3995.